Hello, Soldier Boy here, and welcome to Daily Race B. If you've seen my live stream of the Nations Cup, you'll see that I said about doing this video. So, for this, I decided to do 5 laps in each car of all the different Group 3 ones and see what laps I could do with them. So, we start with the Atenza, the Mazda. I managed a 133.825. And which starts me in second place. So a very, very good start to Daily Race B. This is my first race. The races you'll see, there's quite a few of them. They weren't all done one after the other. There was a couple done together, then a gap of a couple of hours, and another couple, that kind of thing. But we'll start with the Mazda. Lovely car. I do like driving this car. The one thing I found with a lot of the cars is for this track I had to have traction control on too. I don't know what it is. I've never had that issue before with any of these cars. Most of them I've driven before. I've not had that issue, but I had to have it on. I just couldn't find another way around it. But second place, so we're trying to chase down a little touch from behind there. But we're going to hold on to second place. The track itself is a good track. I do like it. There are some corners that are a bit difficult, but it's not a bad track at all. I'll put all the times I've achieved with all the different cars in the comment section, in the description afterwards, mainly because there are 9 different cars, but I didn't do a race for each car. I want to fit it in the video. Using PlayStation 4's SHAREfactory, you can only do a 60-minute video, or 59 minutes, 59 seconds. It won't do it otherwise, so I couldn't fit that many races in unless I sped through bits. But so the other ones I did that I didn't record, I will put them in the description to say the times I achieved. But yeah, so this one was a very, very good first lap. I think it makes 1:33.8 is about 3.8 seconds off the top times in the world. One thing we will do though, so we're in second place at the end of the first lap. We are going to speed this race up. Mainly because nothing happens. So we'll fast forward now. Yeah, nothing happens. As you'll see, I stay in second place, keeping a decent gap to the car ahead and the car behind. And nothing happens. And the only way of featuring this video was to actually speed up one of them, and this is the most boring race. Like I say, there was no real incidents of note, to be fair. If you do get the chance to drive the Mazda, I do like it. It's a very solid all-round car. Holds the track well, has good power, but it's especially good in corners, I've found. And as a Group 3 car, I do really like it. So we're just starting lap 4. It's doing second. That isn't going to change. That is kind of a spoiler for the end of the race, admittedly, but you could probably guess by me speeding it up that, yeah, nothing really happens. There are a couple of cars that aren't going to feature in a race, mainly because I didn't race them. I tried try out the McLaren F1GTR. I struggled with that car massively. It has a lot of power, but very, very poor in the corners. I managed a 136.7, so 3 seconds off what the Mazda managed to achieve. So I didn't do a race of it. And also the Lamborghini Huracan, I did a 134.4. Again, I just found the back end just too tail happy, so I didn't bother. I didn't enjoy driving it, so I didn't use it. And I used to love the Lambos. I always still do to a degree. I'm just picking a race that they suit is definitely a thing. I do encourage everyone to not use the same car all the time. You know, I looked at the top times in the world, and I found that it was quite a few different cars at once. Normally, it's the same car. It's a good variety of cars. That's what gave me the idea to try loads of different ones, just to see, you know, how big a difference it makes. So next we go for the Aston Martin DBR9. I use this car a lot. I use it in Manufacturer's Cup as well. So So I'm very used to this car. This did a 134.6. So not brilliant compared to the previous, but less than a second difference. So we're starting the Mazda's time of 133.8, which is only good enough for 7th place this time. That second place result does obviously improve our driver rating, so it did move us up a little bit. And I think that's why we started a little bit further back. So here we are, first kind of bend, holding the track fairly well. Got a bit too close to the inside there. Hit the car on the outside of me. I went too tight. That was half the issue really. I should have not got as tight to the inside. So we're now battling now for 10th and 11th. We've lost 10th. And there is a car behind us as well, who's a little nudge there. We're keeping up nicely, but struggling. Turning in for the corner. A little nudge from the car in 12th there, but we make it round. Trying to keep a good line. 10th place moves straight into us there, and we get the penalty for him moving into us, and we get reset. That's not good. I've watched that back a few times because I weren't sure if I was in the wrong or not, but having watched it back a few times, I don't believe I was. I kept my line. I didn't deviate. He moved on to me. Dirty tyres now causing issues. Other cars have gone off though, so we've got making up another place. We're up to 15th, up to 14th. Still the first lap as well. So we're back up to 14th. We started in 7th, so this is not a good race for us by any means. And we're going to have a 2-second penalty to serve as well, which isn't going to be helpful. This probably was really frustrating at this point for me. It wasn't a result that should have happened. Yes, I made mistakes at the start, admittedly, going too close here, like the car in 13th has just done. We've just pushed him from behind as well. But yeah, a little bit annoyed, to be honest. Especially considering I don't think we should have had the penalty. But we know what the penalty system's like, I'm not going to go on about it. So we're serving at 2 seconds. Still in 14th. And we do manage to keep 14th after the penalty, which is not what I was expecting. That's dropped us behind 15th and 16th. They're trying to take the place back. We've got a better run out of the corner, so we've just managed to hold on to 14th there. Doesn't matter how they tried to force their way through, we did hold it. But it's 7 places down on where we started, which isn't good. Managing to keep car on nicely. Hitting the apex. Missing that apex, unfortunately. Will reduce my speed overall. I also didn't notice until the last couple of races that my line into that final corner is wrong. The cone on the right hand side, you start braking at the orange markers, and the cone further ahead is when you start to turn. Yeah, I wasn't doing that, I was turning a lot earlier. Yeah, I didn't realise that till afterwards, which is annoying. Braking a little bit later for the corner there. We are trying to catch 13th. We've managed to make some time because then we had the penalty. Got too close and went on to the sausage there, which bounced us off. Got to avoid them red markers on the curbs there. They do unsettle the car massively. But yeah, trying to catch 13th at this point. Just trying to gain something back from this race, if anything. I'm braking for these corners as well, and it was only later on I found actually I didn't have to brake. If you get the right line in, you can avoid braking, because that obviously does slow you down. That's why you brake in the first place. Going a little bit wide there. But yeah, we're still a good couple of seconds behind 13th at this point. And we're about to go on to lap 4. Yeah, you'll notice my line coming in. I'm going in very early. Whereas you don't have to. You should wait a little bit longer to turn in. So penultimate lap will be starting in a second. There we go. So yeah, in comparison to the Mazda, we was a little bit slower than the Mazda in 5 laps that I did. The Lamborghini Huracan did beat this just by 0.2, so that's 200ths of a second. No, 0.2 seconds it beat it by. But the McLaren was a little way behind. Again, I enjoy driving this car. I do like this. Normally, on most tracks, I don't have traction control on for this car. It holds the track really nicely. I have no issues. So I don't know what the difference was with this track and having to use traction control. But yeah, it's never normally an issue for me. But yeah, I do enjoy driving the car. I enjoy both the Astons, to be fair, that I've used. Group 3 and a Group 4. They're nice solid cars, and I think I've had wins with this car as well. So yeah, it's definitely one of my favourites. Very, very wide on that corner. That's going to really mess me up on the exit. And we're going to be further back now from 13th that we wanted to be. We're still at a decent gap to the car behind us, luckily. Not as decent as I thought. He is literally just behind. With 1 lap to go once we make this corner. He's trying to come in. He's got a little touch from behind now. We've taken that nice and tight. Straight on the speed to try and go for me. He's going to have slipstream on us. So I've moved to the left just to negate the slipstream a little bit. But also to keep the inside on this bend. Just trying to use a bit of throttle control to make it. Just trying to hold on to 14th at this point. He's going to go up the inside, but it's not quite close enough for the dive bomb. Taking the corner fairly nicely. And he's straight back on our tail now. He's trying to force his way through there. I was a little bit unfair. I squeezed him quite a lot, to be honest. So that was unfair on my part. I went to turn in and narrowly avoided him. I probably shouldn't have turned in. I knew he was there, but I tried to take my natural line in, and obviously his car was in the way. But we're currently in 15th. This is not a good result for us in the slightest. I think we are gaining on 13th, but not massively. There's an instant ahead. Cars have gone off by the looks of things. There's a yellow flag. There's 1 car there, so we've moved up to 14th now. And another car's gone off. So we're now up to 13th. Can we take 12th now? There is still a chance. We've got a slipstream. We're going to have a slipstream up to the finish line. So there is still a chance. He's gone very wide now on this turning. We're going to take it. He's going to hit us as we come off. And again, I don't think he was happy with the fact that we were about to take position away from him. As you can see, he is still banging into us and still forcing us. But we do finish in 12th place. So a little bit of a recovery. Started in 7th. Down to 12th. Like I say, I don't believe the penalty was my fault, but I can't do anything about it. So a 12th place finish. And the computer forward finished 14th. So we don't lose driver rating, which is a bonus at this point. Because I thought I'd massively messed it up. Next car we're going to go to is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. I managed a 133.5 in this car, which was 0.3 quicker than the Mazda Atenza. Another solid car, personally. I really enjoyed this car. It will start us in 2nd place on the grid. So we're just got to try and keep up with first, I think. That's the big thing with this race. We've got a good position, we've just got to try and hold it. this car was very stable. Again, had to have traction control on two, every car I did. But it was very stable on track in general. Braking, cornering was very good. Got a bit slow through that corner there. We did get a push on behind though. And there's a car trying to take third off us. Take second off us, sorry. And he's coming alongside us for the corner. We've taken it very, very wide, and then we've got hit by fourth there. We were just trying to turn in after a little slide, so that's dropped us from second down to 12th. So not brilliant at all. So now it's recovery time and try and make up positions. So our car ahead's gone off, so we're up to 11th already. Cars are squabbling a little bit ahead of us. We're going to try and go through the middle of these two if we can. Or alongside 10th. We didn't brake as much as everyone else, but we've been forced wide by 9th, but we've held the line. Another car off ahead of us. It's all happening on this first lap towards the end of it now. Taking that a little bit too tight, but we've managed to get ourselves back up to 8th place. Which is not a bad recovery, considering it was our mistake in the corner that made the issue in the first place. A little bit too deep into the final there. But this car's ahead with a penalty as well, so we're going to lose 8th. We're going to drop down to 9th. There was another car behind us trying to make his way past. We're going to slipstream though. But yeah, that was our own fault. The mistake was ours. It was just capitalised on when we got hit. If that hadn't happened, it probably wouldn't have been so bad. But yeah, it was our fault. So still in 9th, chasing 8th. We've still got pretty close to cars ahead. We're not too bad, considering the mistake. Any kind of recovery here is a bonus at this point. Still got a slipstream, which is always a good thing. Trying to take a better line in, especially after the first lap mistake. Taking that very tight. Nudge of the two cars ahead of us, so we're going to take both of them by the looks of it. We got a little nudge as we went past. So we're up to 5th now. This is one hell of a recovery considering we got down to 14th at one point. We did start second though, but yeah, brilliant recovery. But we're very early days in the race at this point. This car does like this section, it does hold it really nicely. Throttle control is good. Taking the curbs in nicely. And I'm going to brake for the last. A little bit of a slide which will slow us down a little bit. Again, if I followed the corner through a little bit more before turning in, I don't think it would have been as bad in that. But I didn't realise till later on in the races I was turning too soon. So currently our record stands at a 2nd and a 12th. And after a mistake in this race, we'll have to see where we end up. We're still chasing down 4th. You can see 2nd and 3rd, they're not getting away. And like I say, this car is very good. So we're going to have slipstream on 4th now. We're going to try and take him on the outside. He's going to have the inside though for the corner, which isn't the ideal line for me. But we're braking nicely. I'm aware he's there, so I'm turning in late. I hesitated on the turn in just to allow him, but we're doing the under. And we've got past him in the 4th now. So that is one hell of a recovery. Back up to 4th place. We're 2 down on start, but after the mistake, that is recovery. A little bit of a mistake there, went very wide. We're managing to hold it together. 5th is right on our tail as well. So we need some really good corners now to put some distance between us and him. I say him, it could be a her. Managing to put a little bit of a gap between us. Trying not to skid too much. Obviously you will lose speed if you skid, so trying to avoid that, so braking a little bit heavier. Crossing the line on the penultimate lap now. We're still in 4th place. We're still chasing down 3rd and 2nd. We can just see up the road. Again, I need them to fight. I think that's the only real way of catching them at this point. Trying to take these without getting a track penalty, and avoiding the red sausages, which I kind of caught there. The ideal line is to have the red sausage go underneath the car, not to hit the tyres either side of it. That's the ideal line, but it's easier said than done in a race, especially if other cars jostling for position. But yeah, hoping for second and third to fight. That's the only way really I think we're going to gain on them too much, or make mistakes admittedly. Taking that very, very tight, probably a little bit too tight, and a little bit of a mistake, missed the apex there. So getting a bit scrappy as we come to the end of the fourth lap. I could be doing a bit better. I need to be a bit more consistent and cleaner at this point, but cutting the corners nicely. Just trying to keep the gap between us and the car behind at this point. I don't want to lose fourth. After the recovery we've made, do not want to be losing fourth place. Taking the last nicely, as we're about to enter the last lap. So fourth place still. Still trying to catch, hoping for them to make mistakes. There's a lot of corners here to make mistakes on, but trying to keep ourselves clean and tidy. I wouldn't say I'm pushing at this point. I would say I'm being conservative. I'm trying to keep it clean. That's a way to take that corner nicely. Red sausage underneath the car. No tyres hitting it. Yeah, I'm driving conservatively. I'm not taking risks. I don't want to lose fourth place. I've worked really hard to get back to it after the first lap issue, so I'm just trying to keep it tight. And be ready to pounce if the cars ahead make any mistakes, really, if anything. A little bit wide there though, it's going to compromise our line in, but we still managed to take it okay. So a little bit scrappy there. The corner previous compromised our line. So one corner to go now, still in fourth. I felt we were catching second and third. A couple more laps we probably would have caught them, but still a brilliant recovery from the way we dropped down from second place in the first lap. So there we go, across the line, fourth place. So brilliant recovery in my eyes. I was really happy with that. So far I've had a second, a 12th and a fourth. So we're going to move on. The computer forward finish fourth as well, bonus. So we're now going to move on to the BMW M6. I managed a 134.5 in practice with this car. So lower than some of the others, but not too bad. Faster than the Aston Martin though, by 0.1 of a second. But slower than the Mitsubishi by 1 second. So we're still going with the Mitsubishi's time of 133.5, which is starting us in 6th position. Car overall wasn't too bad. It wasn't as steady and stable as the Mitsubishi, but it did have good speed. Got a little bit onto the grass there, that's going to compromise speed coming out. First lap is always a bit hairy. Got a bump from behind there, which is going to send us massively deep into the corner. Car behind us gets some sausages and it gives us a couple of hits for good measure as he tries to get past. So drop down at 8th now. I don't think that was our fault. A little bit, well, it wasn't always his fault. He hit the sausage with the wheels, which obviously compromised the line, made him unstable. So the first hit probably wasn't his fault. We're going to take the tight line in and manage to hold it. So up to 7th now. I don't think he's too happy with us for that. And we're catching on 6th. Caught a bit of the grass there. We're going to force our way through. He does well at avoiding. He must have saw us coming, which was good of him. We get a little bit off track. We've caught the car there as we've come back on track. Can't completely our fault. We went too wide, and that forced us into the path of the car coming on, and that's dropped us all the way back down to 15th now. I took the corner too quickly, didn't apply the brake enough, and yeah, completely my fault, the accident. I'm amazed I didn't get a penalty for it. Hopefully he didn't get a penalty for what we did to him. Yeah, I had no control at that point. So a good start position is now gone. We've taken this corner very deep as well at the end. A couple of cars with penalties ahead, so that will help us. But yeah, recovery time now. I'm just trying to make a good recovery. Disappointed with myself, really. Taken that corner enough times now to know not to go onto the red stuff. 15th, a nice touch. Partly my fault, partly his. I was following the curve of the corner. He was taking his line. Yeah. We have moved up a place, but German then tries to force his way into us. I don't think he braked. I think that was payback for the little touch previously. He comes off a lot worse though. So we still keep 14th place at this point. Amazed we've got no penalties. I did say in the live stream on Tuesday night, yeah, my driving wasn't the best. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it is the fact that I've got to have traction control on with all the cars on this track, I don't know. But I didn't feel like I was driving as I normally would. Going deep again there is going to compromise my line into the corner. Just staying off the red stuff that time to avoid spinning out again. Yeah, we've recovered a couple of positions from what happened, but it's all playing catch up now. This is the thing that annoys me as well with these races, when people just quit. We've been lucky so far, I don't think anyone has. But on the Nations Cup live stream, you'll see people quitting because they weren't doing very well. It does go against you. I don't see the point. Even if you ever crash, someone knocks you off, messes up your race, just carry on. You know, you don't know, unless you know what number was on your car before the race, you don't know that it wasn't when you finished last. So you still gain driver rating just by finishing the race. It's not guaranteed, admittedly. If you're meant to finish first, you finish last, you're going to lose some. But finishing the race, I think, is always better than just quitting halfway through. Something that I just don't see the point of, even if you have a bad race. But yeah, we're trying to gain on 13th now. Lap 3. Did say this was a long video, by the way. I did say that in the live stream on Tuesday night. To fit all these races in, 7 races in total, it was always going to be a long video. But like I say, I think it's good to try out different cars. Like this car I've not driven before, other than the practice laps. Never something that crossed my mind to use. Onto the red stuff again. Managed to just keep it straight this time, just to try and negate how much I'll slide when I come back on track. Cars ahead are fighting, luckily, that will help us. We're in 13th currently. Yeah, it's always nice to use cars you don't use, just to see. You know, you might not use a car but actually really enjoy it once you give it a go. And I'm guilty of it. I would use the Aston Martins a lot more than most other cars. I've used the Mazda quite a few times as well. The Lambos previously. You do find your favourite cars and stick with them, but for tracks that aren't suited to them cars, you have to try others. And like I say, this car's not bad. I'd probably compare it to the Mitsubishi, but the Mitsubishi holds the track better, in my opinion. That was the only thing that let this one down, I think. Someone's gone off ahead of us by the looks of things. Yeah, there's a car there. We're going to should have the speed to get past him. He's unghosted though. He's going to squeeze us a little bit onto the grass, but that's okay. He's going to move to the inside. We should take it tight enough to go underneath him. Depends if he gets the better line out of the corner. It wasn't us. We didn't get as good a line as he did, so we're still in 13th. On the penultimate lap. 10th place has got a penalty. There was an issue there. We've now jumped up to 12th. I think someone span out. Yeah, 10th does have a penalty as well. So there's always opportunity here to make another place or two up. If you made it through the video so far, we're halfway through. There's still some good racing to come, admittedly. If you notice in that corner, I did take it a completely different line to normal, which does compromise my speed coming out quite a bit. So needing the cars ahead to fight if we're going to gain any more positions now, although the penalty will make a difference. We're not really close enough, I don't think, to take advantage of the penalty though, unless he messes up these first corners. But yeah, pushing hard now, pushing hard. Trying not to take too many risks, but yeah, I'm pushing. Penalty now being taken. And we'll have the speed to go past him. I was amazed, I wasn't expecting that. So up to 11th, so not a bad recovery, not as good as previous, but still a good recovery. Still chasing down 10th. Back onto the red stuff. This car just couldn't get it to hold the track there. It was that one corner that caused me so many issues with this car. It means we'll go a bit deep into that one and a bit wide. We managed to bring it round for the apex. Just trying to hold on now to 11th. We're definitely not catching 10th, so just trying to hold on. There is a car right on our tail as well. That's why we moved over very early to try and avoid him taking the corner first. We're going to try and get a better exit. He's gone on the grass a bit, so that's going to slow him down. So we are going to keep 11th as we go to cross the line. An 11th place finish. Started 7th, finished 11th. That's not bad. Could have been better. And we was expected to finish 2nd, so we lose driver rating for that. It's unfortunate. Our mistake made things worse though. So we're going to move on to the Chevrolet Corvette. I've driven it a few times previously. I think it's been featured in a video previously. I managed a 133.989, which was very close, 0.4 seconds away from the Lancer Evo, which set the fastest time so far. So another quick car. It's going to start us in 3rd place. I think the drop in driver rating increased our starting position. Fast car. Cornering can be a bit dodgy with this car, I did find. Yeah, holding corners, he didn't hold the track as well as others. 2nd place gets a little bit on the grass there. Hopefully that'll slow him down a little bit. 2 cars ahead got away a lot better than we did. We have got a car on our tail as well now. Managed to negotiate the corners nicely. We've gained on 2nd. It's going to be an interesting going into this one. We just managed to hold it. Bit of contact there. Going to try and slice down the middle now just to take advantage of the mistakes. So we've managed to creep up to 2nd now. But I think 3rd got a push from 4th, and 4th has now hit us off. That's not helpful for us, so that's going to drop us right back down the grid now. We're now in 8th, 9th, 10th. Yeah, the car in 3rd when we were 2nd. I think he got a push from the car that pushed us off eventually as well. Because he seemed to fly past us for no reason. So that's what I would assume. So we're down to 11th now, all because of the car hitting us off. So again is recovery time. See, I did say before the video I think some of my driving was a bit questionable, like that move there. I shouldn't have gone for it. There was no need to go for it, admittedly. Yeah, some of my driving was a bit questionable. Yeah, some of it is, but it's not all my fault, admittedly. So we've gained 2 positions on that final corner. We're now up to 9th. We started in 3rd, so we still a loss of 6. 7th has got a penalty though. 8th is a bit wayward there as well. Just got to take these corners nicely. We've got to touch 8th from behind there. He went very slowly through the corner. The penalty should help us. So that's another position back. I think he moved to block even while ghosted, which is odd. I know I try and avoid people ghosting, just in case the young ghost in front of me. And I have had it happen before, and it messes the race up massively, especially at high speed. But yeah, he moved onto the line. If I ghost, I tend to try and move off the line, unless someone's annoyed me. But we're up to 8th, which isn't a bad recovery. A bit too wide there on the in. 7th goes wide on the exit of the corner. And like I say, cornering is not this car's forte. Downright speed, it's brilliant. But cornering, I find it very unstable. And especially under braking, it does tend to slide a bit. Taking a very narrow line into the corner, which I shouldn't have been doing. 7th gone very, very wide there, so we're going to take 7th place now. There's a decent gap between us and 6th though, as we come to the end of lap 2. So we just need the cars ahead to fight. That's the only really way of catching them, I think. Yeah, this car just lets itself in the corners, lets itself down. Sliding around the corner there, so it makes it really slow through there. Taking the last nicely though. Got a little bit of a gap to the car in 8th. But we should be higher up than this, we know we should be. 6th place on the right hand side there. We caught them up massively. They must have made an error or a penalty. There is a penalty for 5th though. It was very, very slow coming up that corner. Trying to stay away from him, also keep it tight. He's gone into the grass a little bit. We've got a little bit of a touch as we go past him there. And a touch again. Managed to hold it on track at least. I'm glad there's no tyre wear, because that would have screwed our tyres up massively. That is the one bonus there. Currently in 6th. Currently isn't too bad. It is a net loss of 3 positions from start, and taking the corner very deep. 5th went off by the looks of things, so we're going to try and go past 5th. He does hit us as we go past him, but it doesn't affect us too much. So we started in 3rd at the start of the race. As we start the 4th lap, we're now in 5th. Touch from behind there again. It is getting a little bit dirty out there. I can see him on the inside as well. I knew he was coming in. I still tried to take my natural line. I should have backed out, admittedly. I saw him coming in, and there's another car behind as well. But yeah, I was already turning at that point, and yeah, it's one of those things, unfortunately. We should back down to 6th now. The car in 7th isn't a million miles away from us. In fact, here he is. Just managing to get a decent exit. We're going to try and go down the inside alongside 5th. He gives us a good couple of touches and onto the grass just to make sure we can't get past him. So we're going to go down to 7th now. He was not wanting us to pass him at all there. Nothing like sportsmanship at times. And there's another car on our tail as well now. Got to negotiate these nicely. The car behind will have a bit of slipstream with us, I would have said. But I didn't notice slipstream on this straight being that big of a deal. The start-finish line definitely did help. 6th was spun, so we're going to move back up to 6th now. I wouldn't be surprised if 5th hit him, just based on what happened previously when we tried to pass. But final lap, we're in 6th. A net loss of 3 positions from start. Not taking the first bend very nicely. Bit caught up there. Car comes in her inside and catches us as well. I don't know what he was trying to do there. But yeah, still in 6th. We've still got a good chance. Decent finish. Oh, I just didn't brake enough. It's my fault. I hit 5th. Completely my fault. I've kind of let him go. We've got hit from behind as well, which is going to take out 5th. We were the ones that got hit from behind. We're going to gain the penalty though over it. Yeah, I apologise if to people I hit were watching the video. It's my fault, although it wasn't. The hit from behind caused that accident, but I'm the one that takes the penalty, which is nothing you can do. So we're currently in 5th on track, but the penalty is going to knock me back. Going defensive for the inside here. Trying to just hold on to 5th, although I know I'm going to be dropped back a little bit. I think the 2 cars in 6th and 7th are close enough, yeah. So it's a 7th place finish for the Corvette by the end of it. And they estimate us to finish 15th, so that's an increase in driver rating then at least. But a very dirty race, one of the dirtiest ones so far. So we're now going to move on to the Ferrari Italia. This is a car, I've always liked Ferraris. I've always wanted one. You know, one of those boyhood dream cars. Never raced them on GT Sport. I managed at 134.738, which is about 1.2 seconds off my fastest time. So we can't start with the Lancer Evo's time, which will start us in 5th. The thing I found with the Ferraris is they're not bad cars. I don't know why I've never really used them, to be honest. They're fairly quick. I wouldn't say the quickest, but they're fairly quick. They sound nice. Cornering, they can be a little bit unstable. But yeah, it was a nice car. I'm going to have to try and use Ferraris more. I don't know why I've stayed away from them. Probably because in my head they're more of a show car at times. But yeah, I gave it a go, mainly because I saw on the leaderboards. Well, actually, I've got one. None of these cars I bought specifically for this. I had them, I just haven't used them. As the car goes off ahead of us, so we gain into 4th. Yeah, I just haven't used a lot of the cars I've got. That I've got from daily mileage rewards and stuff like that. We're going to go to turn in and the car was straight there, which is going to cause us big issues. That's going to drop us massively back now. Yeah, I went to turn in, he was suddenly right in the way. There's nothing I could have done. There's nothing he could have done either, to be fair. We just come out the worst of it. A couple of cars are off, so we're going to gain a couple of them, up to 8th now. Another car gets a little bump from behind there. There is a car very wide on the outside. So up to 7th now. We started in 5th. Car on our outside will be get the inside line for the next corner, so will affect her turning. But I'm aware he's there. I've backed off because I knew he was going to be there. I didn't want to go into him. We've actually caught him on the exit though. So we're still in 7th. 2 cars are getting very close to each other, which will help us. We've messed up that first. We skidded, and I don't know why we skidded so heavily. Maybe I applied the brakes too much, just to take a little bit of the speed off. We're going to hit 6th then, as he parks himself on the corner, and then we're going to spin it on the corner ourselves. So that's going to drop us back down now to 12th. This is what I said about the Ferrari being a little bit unstable in corners. I did notice that a little bit. And another skid will slow us down. That's not going to do us any favours. The car behind doesn't manage to take advantage though. We're currently in 12th place. I'm getting very, very raggedy now. My driving is suffering massively. I think probably out of frustration more than anything else. I'm up to 11th though as the car does spin. Yeah, frustration of myself for the mistakes I'm making, I think, more than anything else. Skidding around the corner again, that's going to take too much speed off, so we're going to be very slow through the corner. So coming to the end of the second lap, we're in 11th place. And I believe is a net loss of 6 on the start. Managed to take the first bend better, but going very wide. I don't know if that's going to reduce my speed. Missing the apex there. Missing the apex again and skidding, which is going to slow me down a lot. Yeah, this, like I said, stability cornering this car, not the best. Straight line speed, really good. But yeah, it's just not very stable. Reminds me of the Lamborghini Huracan. Apart from it's not so tail happy. The Lamborghini Huracan under braking is horrendous. But third lap, we're 11th place. Net loss of 6 laps from start though. But still trying to push, hoping for mistakes ahead if anything. Someone can go off, that would be a bonus, that would be another position. And it does, my wish has come true, someone has gone off, yellow flag ahead, he's skidded along the track. So we're going to move up to 10th place now. Taking the corner better, turning in later does make a difference. But a bit of a compromised exit there. I was going to finish lap 3 in 10th place, start lap 4. So our best result so far was 2nd place with the Mazda and a 4th with the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. Sorry, I apologise, that's me yawning. So 2nd and 4th are best results so far. We've had to make some recoveries, and some of them really good recoveries, some not so much, and again we're on recovery here. There's a yellow flag ahead, so someone must have gone off. Can't quite see where though. We took the corner very, very slowly though. Slower than we want to. Yeah, under braking, I just couldn't get this to work under braking as well as I can other cars. Little push from behind there. And we've got a penalty for corner cutting, which will be after the push. So the push force means the corner cut. Which is one of those things. Unfortunate, but what can you do? We are trying to hold on to 10th, but that penalty is not going to help things. Eleventh place just behind us. So it's going to be touch and go where we can hold this. So we're going to start the final lap. Like I say, half second penalty. After the push to us, it made us go wide and take a corner cut. And the car gives us another push from behind. Luckily on the straight, so it's not going to affect us too badly. And we'll push as we go into the corner as well. If anything, all he's doing is slowing himself down, especially with the speed he's pushing us from behind from. We're going to take our penalty after he goes past us. So we're down to 11th on the final lap now. We've got a little bit of a gap to the car behind, so that's not too bad. I would have liked a 10th place finish, but unless someone makes a mistake ahead, it's going to cause us issues. But yeah, the pushing from behind hasn't helped us in the slightest. And that is what caused the penalty in the first place, to be fair. So just trying to keep it tidy now, bring it home, resign to 11th place really, if anything. Going very, very tail happy on that corner. Someone has gone off ahead of us. Yeah, the car there has spun, so we're going to gain 10th place back, which is a relief considering I was annoyed we'd lost it in the first place. Don't think we're nowhere near catching 9th, but yeah, we should hold on to 10th place for a 10th place finish. Right, one more race to go. Confirmation of 10th place. Well, it's meant to finish 7th, so we lose a little bit of driver rating there. So the next car was the Lexus RCF, which I've never used. This was a new car to me. I managed a 134.8, so 1.5 seconds off the Lancer Evo. It's a nice looking car. It was okay. I felt it lacked speed, and again cornering was an issue. Out of all the races I did, my suggestions would be the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo or the Mazda Atenza. They were the best cars for me to drive, cornering wise and pure speed. I liked them both. They were, you know, if I do any more of this race, they're the two I'll be using. They're also my best results. But yeah, they are the two I'd use, to be honest. But on to this race anyway. We're up to 4th on the first lap. We have got a car right on our tail. Yeah, the acceleration on this just didn't seem to be as good as other cars. It just seemed a lot slower. Going very deep into the corner, a little push to make sure we go off there as well. We're going to get the safety rating down for that little push, not sure why. But then we've got the better exit than the others. So we stay in 4th. I'm surprised we stayed in 4th, but we did. They compromised their own exits by the looks of things. Just managing to stay off the red stuff on the side by the curb there. Yeah, the car just feels slow and sluggish and heavy compared to what all the others have driven. And there's still cars that I have in the garage that I've not used, to be honest. There's a few different ones I probably could have used. The RZZ we've used in previous races. I wasn't even contemplating that one. I don't like it on cornering. Straight line speed is brilliant, but cornering isn't. But yeah, like I said at the start of the video, the main point of this was to try out different cars. Some I would never normally drive, others I do drive a lot. Just to really get to grips with what I think the best car to use would be, considering the top times in the world are all varied. There's not one car unusually that has smashed out of the park. And when I recorded this, there was still a big variety of cars. So it was a case of just trying to try out different cars and give me a chance to use ones I wouldn't normally use. So like the Ferrari, the Corvette, even the BMW. The McLaren, brilliant car. I didn't do a race of it. I did the practice laps and struggled massively with understeer. But it gave me a chance to use it. I probably wouldn't use it again, admittedly. But like this car, the Lexus, not something I'd choose straight away to use. But not a bad car, just it seemed sluggish. It may only be my perception of it, but yeah, that's how it seemed to me. Bit wide on the exit there. So coming up for the end of lap 2, we're currently in 3rd, so doing okay. Improved their start position at least. Taking a slightly different line into the last corner as well, based on what I've managed to figure out and find and do myself. I think if I used the Mazda or the Lancer again and used a better line at that last corner, I probably could improve my time, to be fair. But like I say, 1:33.5 is my best time on this track so far for this daily race, which puts me I think it was 3.5 seconds off the top times, and I aimed for less than 5. This is all done controller and automatic gearbox, so I'm always expected to be slower than the top times, but within 5 seconds is kind of my aim. Trying to take the corner, backed out of it because of the car coming in there. I noticed him there, so I backed out. Just trying to avoid a crash. So we're down to 4th now. Still not bad, we're still doing okay. Not the tidiest and cleanest laps, I must admit. Third goes very, very wide there. We're going to take third back now. Could this be a second podium of the video? We've got a chance now. Our best result was second with the Mazda, and next to that was the Mitsubishi. We've been forced wide there by the car who was behind us, and then we've got the penalty for it. Well, what can I say about that? That's going to mess our chance of a podium. It is one of those things, unfortunately. Taking the corner all wrong, which sets us up for the next one wrong. We're going to go slowly through. The Huracan goes past us, so we're now dropped down to 5th and with a penalty to take. Another car goes through, and another. So we're down to 7th now. So now just got to try and hold on to this position. Hope cars ahead make mistakes. Still got a lap and a bit to go though. So there's still time for people to make mistakes. We've just got to keep it clean. Very, very deep into there though, which makes us really slow and compromised for the corner. Trying to keep it nice and tight around here. Felt really slow though. Just missed the apex there. Very close to it, but just missed it still. We're in 7th place. Lap and a bit to go. Bit wayward on exit, but yeah, one more lap. We're just going to try and hold it together. While we're doing this last lap, hope you've all enjoyed the video. It was nice to do a variety of cars. Like I say, I'll put all the times with each of the cars in the description, just so people can see what I managed to achieve. I won't spoil the results for each car. I'll leave that to watching the video at least. Keep an eye out for what's coming up on the channel. We've got the UDL farming series on Sunday, and then hopefully we should have the live stream Saturday night with the Nations Cup and Manufacturers Cup as well. Double header, that'd be good to take part in, especially after my 12th place finish on Tuesday with the Nations Cup. Some extra points for Great Britain. So we'll just follow this to the end now. So we're in 7th place still. Just trying to keep it tight. 6th is still there. He just needs to make a mistake and we could take the position off him. But he's going to be close. It goes a little bit wide on the corner, but not enough to help us. Braking for the corner. We are gaining. I don't think we're going to be close enough though. Even with slipstream, I don't think. No, we're not going to be anywhere near close enough. So we're going to take a 7th place. So to round out the results, the Mazda 2nd, the Aston Martin was 12th, the Mitsubishi was 4th, BMW 11th, Corvette 7th, Ferrari 10th, the Lexus 7th. So a wide range of results. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.